Hi Stampers, this is a third video in a series that has to do with really easy, simple cards for beginner stampers. I have customers that are new to stamping, so it's really important that I bring to them things that are easy for them to succeed at. So this is another one of the punch bundles that Stampin' Up! Carries in the new catalog. It's on page 117. It's called Field of Flowers. And again, it's got a punch and a stamp set that are together. The little blossoms that they have, the border blossoms, line up perfectly with the punch. And there's a 10% discount because it's part of a bundle. So you get 10% off when you buy them together. So this is another card that I got on Pinterest, the idea from, and we're gonna do this one today. I did a little stamping on the envelope just to kind of give it a little extra. So this one is really sweet, really easy. There's not a whole lot you need to add. And these are some more ideas that I got off of Pinterest. So a little texture on this one. This one I used one of the nested dies and just kept it simple, 3 colors. This one had 3 colors, but I got a little more carried away. There's another video that I have that shows how you can get these 3D flowers. It's really fun. So sweet when they cup up like that. They just pop up at you and just add so much to your card. But back to simple. So the Field of Flowers is photopolymer, so you can see through. Really great when you're trying to line things up. The only drawback is if you don't clean them right away, they can get very stained. So you can see that the darker red color, the Mellow Mambo, has stained my stamp, but they still work fine. They don't leave ink on anything as long as you clean them off. So let's get started. You need an envelope. You're going to need 8.5 by 4 1/4 piece of paper. I've already scored this and folded it with my bold folder. I'm also going to need a piece of the Bermuda Bay and another piece of the Whisper White. And then I just need a scrap. So when I'm stamping and I'm cutting and making things, I save all my scraps. Some are too small and I'll throw those away. But I find that even little verses, like these verses, all would fit on this nice little strip of cardstock here. So don't be afraid to grab some bags and start saving your scraps because they do come in handy. Okay, so the Bermuda Bay is 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. And then the white cardstock that nests on top of it is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So you can see they line up really nicely together. Just gives a little subtle color, just nice. You don't have to have it that dimension. You can do anything you want. But we'll start with this piece first. Now here's the colors that I'm using. The Granny Apple Green, Gorgeous Grape, Bermuda Bay, Mellow Mambo, Daffodil Delight. And these are from the Brights collection. So super fun colors, lots of different choices. You have a little bit of everything. So great color choices. So we're going to start with Granny Apple Green first. Now I'm going to ink this up, and this takes a little bit more. You can hold it in your hand and do it that way. But just make sure it has lots of ink on it. And you can line it up anywhere you want. So it doesn't have to be, I'm gonna pull it down a little bit so that it's not, I want the grass to just be coming up from the bottom. So I'm gonna have it be a little bit lower. Really cute. While I've got this out, I'm gonna do a little bit to my envelope. So I'm going to do it along this one you have to do twice because the envelope's a little bit longer. Doesn't matter if it overlaps, it's all the same color. Super easy. Okay. Now I have one more thing that needs to be green, and that is the stem of the bigger blossom. And again, I don't want it to be too high up. In fact, before I do that, I should do the message. So I used the one block, and I knew where I wanted. I lined it up on paper first, and then I put my stamp down, or my block down. That way it stays where I want. As I teach the gals how to use this, it makes it really easy if they don't have to try to place it. So I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay for the message. I'm going to put that first because I want to make sure that I don't get my blooms too high. So I want this message up at the top. I'm lining it up with the top of my page. There you go. Happy with the results. Now, next, my blossoms are up at the top, and they're really close to the message. So I want to do those next. I want to make sure again that I don't get things in the wrong position. So, all right. Now I can get my green stem done. And I'm going to line up the little stems with the bottom of the flower. There we go. Okay, now the card that I saw on Pinterest, this was it. And it was so cute and sweet, just like. But today we're going to add a few more elements. We're going to add the blossoms and the dragonflies. So there's two ways that you can add the blossoms. You can stamp them directly on there, which is what we can do, just to give you an idea of how easy it is. And it doesn't matter if there's any overlap, because it looks like the blossoms are behind the grass. Or you can stamp it on a piece of cardstock and then use this really cute punch to line up your blossoms and then glue them on. It just gives that sweet little 3D look. So we don't need to because we've already stamped them on there, but you can see with this example, really not a lot of difference, but super cute to add. Now we're just going to do the dragonfly and put the card together, and we'll be all done. Okay, so this piece of cardstock just nests really nicely. The glue makes it really easy to use because you can wiggle it around a little bit, make sure everything is where you want it. Just want to make sure that all my borders are fairly equal. Because we didn't use those on the outside, we can glue these on the inside of the card. Don't forget to stamp or write your name on the back, date it. That way people are reminded that you really care for them. Because not just going to the store to buy something, you can also, you make it yourself. So thanks for joining me. Again, my name is Angela with Wild Violets Art, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thanks for joining me.